welcome back to Let's Build Harvestowne. And today we are finishing the last lot of Foundry Cove in Willow Creek, but in terms of Harvestowne, we're just finishing up one of the small neighborhoods, one of the many neighborhoods of Harvestowne, and this is specifically the elementary school. This school is, so for this school, I wanted it to work with Kawaiistaice's Playable School Events mod. I was debating using Subaru's Go to School mod, but that one was a little bit more complicated to build for and had a lot more requirements. Meanwhile, Kawaiistaice's Playable School Events mod is a lot more simpler and also would be easier for me to record. So there's that. And yeah, and right here where we're focusing on the first room, which is the this teacher specifically focuses on arts and crafts and the arts and all of that jazz. And the other classroom we'll get to see is more catered towards science or logic, and there's that. So this is I actually really ended up liking this classroom a lot. I think it's because of how much the wallpaper complements the tiled floor. I don't know, something about it just like, I just really like this color combination. So yeah, this is the elementary school where all of my my kid sims go to for school and that jazz. Where you'll get to see them go to the school over the course of my let's play of this neighborhood. Of course, we're not done. We have about how many more neighborhoods? About 5 more neighborhoods to furnish. So yeah, I know that I might go back to some of these lots to add more items. Like I'm eventually going to replace that board of the whatchamacallit, that in my head I envision it as a smart board, that giant in the enlarged map that I have. I'm thinking about replacing it with a specific wall decoration that comes with Get to Work, but I don't have that yet in my save. So unfortunately, it is what it is. And right here I create a small like computer corner. There's a computer corner in each classroom. I was kind of modeling this kind of computer corner based off of the elementary school I grew up in. We always had like a small computer corner, and I remember whenever we had indoor recess, everyone would go to the computers to play Pop Tropica, which was an interesting experience because it really showed like the communication that game can bring, like the community that can be brought out of that game, because so many people would like it. It was kind of like a race of figuring out who could beat who could beat this puzzle, and then everyone would like, once someone figures out a specific or someone completes a puzzle or figures out like the gimmick of a puzzle, word will spread down the line essentially, and everyone would try and keep up with. I'm not explaining this in the best of terms, but I eventually do take out 2 of these arts and crafts desks to put in an actual desk, because that way your Sims could do homework. I realized I kind of made this error, because you can't do homework on these arts and crafts things. Also, I don't know if you can listen to lectures while sitting on them, so I just take 2 out. There's still arts and crafts desks in there, in the back. I just replaced the front 2 ones. But yeah, so with Pop Tropica, it was just like this experience of whoever got to figure out the first clue. It was like everyone would flock to that person, and then they would tell them how they solved it, and then all the other people who were also playing Pop Tropica would then, do what they did, and then they would try to figure out what the next clue was. So it was like this weird community that was made whenever we played Pop Tropica in school. Then we would play like other games, like along those lines. So yeah, this is our teacher's classroom. I was thinking possibly the teacher would be a girl, but I don't know. I don't have a designated elementary school teacher just yet. Though I'm just going to craft these NPCs off in my off time. I'm not really going to have like a elaborate story plan for those characters. They're just going to be like, you know, NPCs in the background, townies in the background who are there to assist the Sims. Though I try to exude character into their build, so grab whatever character is in this class. It's from, you know, the teacher, or the teacher's personality is, you know, born from this class. I hope I made sense with that. So yeah, how's everyone doing? I'm doing okay, I guess. It's been a lot, especially going back to school. You know, my social life isn't quite the best, but like I'm doing fine in isolation. And you know, I'm just keeping on, and just trying to stay safe and that jazz. Fun times. One thing I did like, when I was I had a lot of memories of my, when I put that carpet down, I was kind of reminded of this guidance class that my school had. Like, we had a weird, I don't know if you guys had this, but we had like this, specifically a guidance class where our guidance counselor would teach us about like how to handle emotions and bullying and stuff like that. And that carpet kind of reminded me that we would sit down on a carpet for that class. And yeah, so right here we are switching to the scientist teacher. They are, you know, they're cool. They're a cool science teacher. I would say that the science teacher maybe is a little bit more stricter and is less carefree as the art teacher or the art-focused elementary school teacher, because they're like very passionate about science, and they don't want any kids getting hurt during experiments and stuff like that. So they come off as a bit of like they come off as very like strict and mean sometimes, but they're just doing it so no one gets hurt. They're acting that way so no one gets hurt. And I know the teacher really does care about their students. The teacher is also, I was thinking about the teacher also being being a part of the school's LGBTQ club, or just like a safety net, or you know, they're one of the, if they see, I don't know how to phrase this, they run like an LGBTQ youths club after school. I won't say club, but it's just like a way for kids who are possibly gay or trans or something along those lines. They have a safety net, even though they have some kind of safety net, and this teacher kind of really does care about their kids and stuff like that. And I have this small demo scientist area, and I try to include a lot of knickknacks and things that a science teacher would have in their room for experiments and stuff like that. Initially, I was going to do like this kind of, I was trying to create this weird, in my head, this weird like chemical experiment, but eventually I just focused that it was just the teacher trying to show the class how to recreate one of these class builds, and they have this nice decorative wall of all of the kids, you know, projects that they've done. And as you can see, I put another desk corner here. Surprisingly, a lot of the furniture ended up working well in building this room. Like, a lot of the furniture ended up being very complimentary to the kind of teacher or the character of the teacher I was kind of going for throughout this build. I know I did have difficulty later on with the cafeteria, which off screen I did heavily change, because originally it was just going to, it had the cafeteria, the cafeteria, not cafeteria, it had the, how would you phrase it? It's from restaurants. It's the chef station. The chef station was, I put the chef station there, and then a weird kitchen, and I didn't think it would really be compatible with the Kawaiistaice's mod, so I refurbished the kitchen area and a bit of the decorations in that cafeteria, because it didn't look as great as I wanted it to be. There's some builds that I do want to go back to fix, so they'll look a lot better and fit more with the style that I was going for. It's just I made a lot of small edits, or large edits off screen regarding that cafeteria, so it's, you know, I would feel better about it. So yeah, I'm just decorating, adding more decorations and trying to put more sciencey things all over the classroom. I've tried to attempt to create a more interesting, like, smart board or whiteboard kind of mode, because there's no, like, chalkboard. There's the flag that I was talking about. You know, this teacher is, you know, someone under the LGBTQ banner. I don't know what specifically, but they'll always be there for students who are going through a rough patch with their, you know, identity and stuff like that. And here I do the locker section, and I try to make the lockers complement each other color-wise, but I couldn't do it. So I have the bookcase lockers combined with the physical lockers. So that way, if I ever want to do when I do machinimas or Let's Plays in this room, I can presume that my Sims will go to the bookshelf lockers, to be like, this is my locker, I'm grabbing, like, my books and stuff like that. So those are their designated, the special lockers, essentially, to designate the special character lockers from the generic lockers. So yeah, I'm just adding more lockers and some class promotional stuff, like, oh, we have events over here. I do take those lockers out and I make these small, like, corners of the two entranceways, these kind of entrance hallways. I kind of make them waiting areas for kids, so, you know, they're waiting for their parents to pick them up and they're just sitting down, and I put a bunch of display cases all over the place, and you guys will eventually get to see me do that. And I'm adding more banners to spice up the school and stuff like that. If I ever end up, like, I do want to have a rule in place for my world that, in order for once I get this series going, I'm going to establish a rule for myself that in order for some of these community lots to be refurbished, I'm going to need my politician or mayor sim to, you know, go have to campaign and fundraise to renovate the school. And I think something I would probably make one of my mayor sims definitely focus on first would probably be renovating this elementary school, or possibly at some point I'm thinking about possibly adding a second floor if I were to go back to this build. I think for right now it's doing the purpose that I wanted to. If I were to go back to this build, I would definitely include a second floor. So maybe I could add, in that case I would be able to expand upon, you know, add more classrooms, add maybe an auditorium, stuff like that. So right here is a small display case, and I was trying to include, like, a lot of trophies that the school has won, and also a bit of promotion of the fine arts with some of the figures that I'm going to put up. Maybe there's going to be a play at the school, or some actors are going to come to the school to do a reenactment of a show that's going to happen at some point. I know that's happened at my school. In elementary school, or in my elementary school, that happened a lot. My school had a lot of, I was drawing on like the themed display cases that were in my school. I tried to create a small waiting area for the principal of this school, but I didn't have the space for it. This place was really cramped for space. I think that's the reason why if I do come back to this place, I do want to create, I want to add more space to this room, to this build, especially for the office area, and jazz like that. So yeah, I put a bunch of display areas, and things that would like grab kids' attention. Though I don't think they would really be focusing on what those displays are actually promoting, unless like they're involved with the club or something like that that makes them be like, oh yeah, I'm a part of that. Which was the case with me. I didn't really focus on, I just like how the displays were set up. I didn't really focus on what they were meant for. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to spruce up the hallway of this class. Right here, I thought it would be nice to do a display that was, a display that was paying homage to the elementary school's foundation. I know that was the case when I went to school, but that was because my elementary school had recently been built. For my elementary school, when I went to kindergarten, I went to a different school, but it was part of the same school district. However, my school district built a new elementary school, and no one wanted to go to, because the old one was very cramped. And so when I went to first grade, I went to the new school that my school built. I hope I'm making sense with this. I really don't know how to explain anything tonight. Or I'm recording this way late at night. Maybe that has something to do with my incompetence at explaining things. So right here I'm now building the cafeteria, which I said I do change. I think I changed the wallpaper and possibly the flooring. I do keep these, I do use these, these picnic tables, because honestly they're the best. I think they work the best in regards to, creating, to creating the feel of an elementary school cafeteria, So yeah, as I was explaining, so as you can see right here, I make a small bathroom area, and I also I kind of take some space away from these small waiting corners, and as you can see here, I'm trying to create this small kitchen nook, and I'm not very successful at it. It's very cramped over there, and even when I did make changes afterwards to make it a fully fledged kitchen, it's still pretty cramped, though your Sims will be able to get around that room and be able to cook meals for the students, for the cafeteria, and yeah, it was this. I think for the most part, I do like the classrooms that I built for this. I like the classrooms that I made for this build. I just think when it came down to the cafeteria, it was kind of lackluster. I do end up making a lot of changes afterwards, which you might see in the photos and possibly the machinima at the end. That's something I'm trying to include a lot more. I'm trying to include a lot more machinimas, which each build I make, so you guys will have a bit of backstory before I go head first into playing all of these sims. You know, I like making machinimas, of course, and oh, we sudden transition over to, I think I got fed up with the cafeteria, so I wanted to go to a different room. This is the principal's room. Very simple. I think the principal here, he is, he's, in my head I was envisioning it, a African American, or the sim equivalent of a black principal who really does care about his students. He's like involved. He tries to be very involved with all of the clubs that the school has, or tries to check in on at all of the school, all of the clubs at the school, and really does care about the students at the school. Very much like trying to be like a good father figure to all of the students, and while also trying to appease the parents of Harvestowne. Those most of the parents are like, I don't think, some of the parents are probably a bit more lax. I wouldn't say a lot of the parents are very restrictive. However, but then again, there is Miss Rush who lives down the street, who's very intolerant and very, oh boy, she's something. She's a piece of work. So yeah, I put the Brightchester seal. I think I interpret the Brightchester seal is kind of the seal of the school, essentially. And the school is doing pretty well. It's fairly successful. The students have a very good education here, and they enjoy, everyone enjoys school, though. Though the kids here are smart, or can get by in school. I think as you will see, the kids at this school have varying different personalities. Some of them are socially inclined, some of them are artistically inclined, some of them are very studious, some of them don't really care. But I try to make each child different in Harvestowne. And though I've only shown off one family household so far, I can't wait to show you the rest, because the next two neighborhoods I'm going to focus on are purely residential areas. We'll do there's a couple of commercial-ish areas that we're going to do, but the next two neighborhoods we're going to focus on are the middle class neighborhood and the upper class neighborhood, where all of the rich sims of this neighborhood are, and also the more influential sims, and a lot of them have families. There's a lot of families we're going to cover very soon, and I can't wait to show you guys them. I try to make everyone unique, have their own their own personalities and quirks, and trying to make them all interesting. I know I do also change this this courtyard. I move around afterwards. I put in a basketball area, but I eventually removed it and actually put the swings where the basketball court is, because I didn't think it, as much as I wanted there to be a basketball court, in my head I was trying to encapsulate the Foursquare game or I don't know if you guys know it. I know it's called different things in predominantly British areas, in Britain it's called something else. But I was trying to recreate a Foursquare area, because I played that a lot when I was a kid. We played Foursquare. However, the basketball court didn't really, and it just kind of clashed with the the placement, or the formation, not placement, the floor plan. I guess is the best way to put it, of this courtyard. So I removed it and I put the swing there because the swing was kind of awkwardly placed where I put it, and fortunately I was able to find like a good place to, have the swing set. I loved the swings when I was a kid. It was like, honestly, it was the only activity I would do besides kickball and foursquare. Besides that, I didn't really do anything else. When I was during recess, besides just going on the swings and kind of allowing my imagination to flourish by itself. So yeah, I try to put a lot of activities and toys all over the place so any sim can do whatever they want, and not be bored with it. I put a small makeup kit there. I eventually downloaded Kawaiistaice's. I have Kawaiistaice's Slice of Life one. Slice of Life. Her recent update includes a makeup kit which you can actually use to have your Sims physically put on makeup. I don't know if it works with children. I presume it works on teenagers, but I kind of put one of those kits on the bench. However, that's not in the final build on the gallery, because I want you guys to be able to download it without the need for CC, though I think most people have Kawaiistaice's mod, even if they're not big mod people. I know I've been helping one of my friend's brothers with mods that he wants to use, and I suggested Slice of Life because it's really good. It's an amazing mod. I actually stopped playing The Sims for a while after this game updated and it broke Slice of Life, so I just quietly waited for the game to update before I would go back and record anything. So yeah, we're finishing up the elementary school. Thank you very much for watching. Leave any comments. We can have a full discussion in the comment sections about how you're feeling, your day, anything in general. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!